Hello, hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to Happiness by Habit. I'm your host, Silvana Pimentel, here to sprinkle a little joy, laughter, and insight into your day. Today, we're tackling a topic that so many women deal with, but not always talk about: the wild roller coaster ride known as menopause. But don't worry, you're not riding this coaster alone. We got a VIP guest in the house to help us navigate the twists and turns. Crystal Mallari. Crystal is a menopause coaching specialist, a Christian health coach, and a fabulous CEO of React Method, Evolution Fitness Inc. She's also she also helps women over 40 conquer that dreaded menopausal belly, reclaim their confidence, and feel absolutely amazing with their own skin, all while honoring God's way. Crystal, welcome to Happiness by Habit. I'm so excited to have you here.
I'm honored to be here, Silvana. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Well, let's jump right in. How did you become so passionate about helping women thrive during menopause?
Well, first and foremost, I am 46 years young myself.
Oh, first of all, you don't look a year over 30. I mean, I can tell you that. Really,
See,
whatever you're doing, you need to tell us all about, please.
all the secrets today. I'll tell you all the secrets.
Perfect. That's promising.
Partly because, when I turned 40, I started experiencing some hot flashes, and I've been in the health industry for 17, 18 years as a health professional fitness coach. I owned my own brick and mortar since 2013. And when the pandemic hit in March 2020, I pivoted 100% online. And what I found was, although I did serve some men in my brick and mortar my weight loss and fitness studio, women were really gravitating towards me online. And so from my own personal experience with going through the menopause transition, and then, recognizing that a lot of women over 40 were really attracted to what I was teaching, I decided to then evolve my company, which was, it was called Revolve Life. We rebranded a few years ago to Fit Beyond 40. And so with that in mind, I wanted to understand a little bit more about menopause. So I did take a certification. So I do have a menopause specialist certification. But really, at the end of the day, I really want women to feel empowered over 40. I want women to feel healthy. I want women to feel freedom in their skin. And, as a Christian health coach as well, that is a very, I think, a unique perspective where not only are we going to deal with, yes, the menopause transition, but we're going to do it from a faith-based perspective to really lean in. Well, why? What is the purpose in getting healthy? Why do we want to feel good? Why do we need more confidence? And so my own personal experience, moving 100% online and really speaking to women over 40. And so many of my clients and past graduates as well are all women over 40. All of my coaches that are currently on my team range from, I think the youngest is 44. My eldest coach on my team is in her 60s. So we are all in the same boat. We're all experiencing the same things. And that's why, I'm very passionate about helping women really just age gracefully and not be afraid or frustrated when it comes to the menopause transition.
Oh my God, I love it. You got me at hello, Crystal. That's all kinds of beautiful things you're saying. Well, let's talk about what is a Christian health coach. I don't think so many of us have used that phrase before. Was there a personal moment or turning point that made you say, this is my mission?
Yes, I love that. So again, I've been in the industry for 17 years, and I passed 10 years ago, I gave my life to Christ, and it changed my life. He changed my life. And Christ is now the CEO of my company. He's the author of my life and really is the foundation of why I do what I do. I really look at my weight loss coaching program like a ministry. It's a fitness ministry. It just happens to be through fitness, but where my core values and my mission comes in. I'm going to read from the Bible. This is the ESV version. And it says here in 1 Corinthians 6, verse 19, or do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit within you, whom you have from God? You are not your own, for you were bought with a price. So glorify God in your body. And so that really, truly is the foundation of what I practice and what I teach, in that as a Christian woman, and I respect that there are other, faiths out there, but my belief is that now that I have given my life to Christ, I am born again, I have a new identity in Christ. I'm the daughter of an Almighty King, and the Holy Spirit lives in this body. And as that verse says, I don't own this body, He does. And so I am housing a very special guest. That's the Holy Spirit. And the Holy Spirit deserves a mansion, not a rundown hotel. And so that really, truly is, the foundation of how I teach, and why it's really important for, especially as Christian women, or women who are maybe they have experienced some church hurt and are coming back to try to find their faith, even women who are just searching. I want to encourage them that perhaps looking at their physical health from a different perspective, I really, really want to teach women that our bodies are more than just an ornament. It's an instrument. And so, and of course, I want women to feel good. In the same breath, Silvana, I'm also a professional fitness competitor. I've done many fitness competitions myself.
Look at that. Wow.
I understand the desire to want to look good, but it's more than that. It's feeling good in your own skin. It's no longer feeling trapped in your body so that you can walk out God's plan for your life. And that might be being the best mother, the best wife, the best, business owner, the best employee, whatever that looks like for you. If you don't have energy, if you feel trapped in your own skin and you are literally a prisoner of your own home because you're too embarrassed to go out, or maybe it's affecting your marriage because you don't want your husband to touch your belly rolls, and now it's affecting your marriage. How is that really living out your giftedness, your blessings, and what God has planned for you? So that's where I'm really, really passionate about infusing faith with your fitness journey.
Wow, I love everything you just said. I heard the phrase, my body is a temple, but you are talking about a mansion. And not because of the size. Some people might have the mansion size because they might be a little too big, but you're talking about the lifestyle or the quality of housing for God in this case.
Yes.
That's a beautiful comparison.
Just treating your body with respect.
Yes.
And where the difference is, when I come from a Christian health perspective, is in the fitness world, the term self-discipline is used very much, right? And so many women struggle with self-discipline. And so from my perspective, I'm going to ask you, Silvana, when you hear the word self-devotion, what do you think the word devotion?
Devotion is like love, but to a whole different level, like you will do anything.
Yes.
But self, for you, in this case.
So instead of coming from a self-discipline mindset, it's coming from a self-devoted mindset, because I will do anything for this vessel because it's a blessing, it's a gift. And so when you look at your body in that way, now you look at workouts that they're not a chore, they're a privilege. Now, when you look at clean drinking water, you look at it that, wow, that's a blessing because so many don't have that. When you look at the choice of eating whole foods, and I'm not against processed foods. In our program, we teach 80% whole food, 20% soul food, right? But really choosing foods that give you energy instead of drain you and make you tired and make you, gain unwanted weight. So it's a different perspective. That's what it really is.
Yes. Let's talk about menopause. Menopause can feel like a mystery wrapped in chaos. So what are some common misconceptions about this stage of life that you wish more people understood better?
Yes, for sure. Women, different stages for different women. And one of the things that I come across when women come to me is that they're still trying to practice the same routines that they used to do in their 20s, now that they're in their 40s and up. And
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, back then, we could use and abuse our body, eat all the things, just do maybe a fast a little bit, maybe a little cardio, and then we shrink. But that's not
Yeah,
the case anymore, right? That's not the case.
right.
For me, everything changed when I turned 30. And so, it's really focusing on things such as strength training. That's very important as women over
Mm-hmm.
40 need to put on muscle. That's how we're going to stay young. And then too many women are not eating enough protein. So that's a big thing that we focus on inside my program, and, looking at sleep and stress as well. So yes, hormones is a part of it, but it's not all of it. It's not the only culprit. And so, when women think, "Oh, I'm going through menopause, it's too late." It's not too late. It's really thinking about changing some lifestyle habits. And as we age, a part of that is we're not as active as we used to be. In our 20s, perhaps we were single and, we had all the time in the world. So we can spend hours in the gym. We can, we're moving around. We have energy to hike and bike. And then as we get married, now we have kids and now we're more tired. And a lot of us are sitting at desks. So our activity is literally slashed in half.
Mm-hmm.
So many women are thinking, oh, it's because of menopause. Actually, how much movement are you doing a day? Especially, throughout the pandemic. I mean, my goodness, we were stuck at home. And so when you even just evaluate the 3-4 years during that time, and you look at, for so many women may have put on weight, and that's because probably you weren't moving as much. So that's something
Mm-hmm.
to consider as well. I just want women to not blame only menopause, really take a look at your lifestyle habits and
Mm-hmm.
really take a look at, okay, am I doing everything I can to, get strong, stay healthy, fuel my body, get good sleep. So it's a combination of things instead of just blaming menopause.
That's so true. One of your missions is to help women reclaim confidence. Why do you think menopause affects self-esteem, and how can women rebuild their sense of self during this transition?
When we think of self-confidence, it's literally how you feel about yourself, right? It's how, when you look in the mirror, so many women come to me and they say, Coach Crystal, the image that I see in the mirror does not match the image I see in my head. So there are many women who may be successful in their careers, they've got great home lives, but the one thing that they haven't mastered is their own health. And that's where their self-confidence is low. Most women that come to me, they've tried everything. They've tried every program and keto and Weight Watchers and gyms and trainers and detoxes and cleanse, and it goes on and on and on. And yet they continuously fail, or they succeed, they lose the weight, but then they gain the weight, they lose the weight. And that's that.
Right, the
Right?
yo-yo diet.
Exactly. Ultimately, confidence is the ability to keep promises to yourself. Because what happens is when you are, and I'm just really focusing on your healthy journey. Too many women say, okay, on Monday, I'm going to start working out and I'm going to meal prep every week and I'm going to go for my walks and I'm going to drink more water. And then what happens? Their kids get sick, they skip a workout. There's deadlines at work. They take takeout instead of, they Uber Eats instead of prepping their food. Their elderly parents is sick, so then they can't go for their walk. So life happens. And what they do is they break the promise to themselves, and then their health is no longer a priority if it's at the bottom of their list or not on their list at all. So Silvana, I want to ask you, if you had a best friend who always, she always said, okay, I'll be there, I'll watch your kids, and then 20 minutes before she's supposed to watch her kids, she cancels. Or she says, I'll be there for your birthday, and then she calls you and says, oh, I'm sorry, I can't go, something came up. Or she says, I'm sorry, Silvana, I got to cancel our lunch again. I know it's the 5th time, but it's really important. I have a deadline at work. How would you feel about that friend?
Not good at all. I couldn't trust her word
Yeah.
anymore.
So that's the same way when you keep breaking promises to yourself. You say you're going to meal prep. You say you're going to do your workouts. You say you're going to do all of these things to take care of yourself, but you break those promises again and again and again, and then you no longer trust yourself. And a lot of women then, they feel like a failure. They feel like, what's the point? They feel like it's too hard. And so their confidence and self-esteem is really low. So what I teach inside my program is, well, how do we keep those promises with ourselves? And one of the things that we do right off the gate is they sign an accountability contract. And it's not a contract to me, it's a contract to them. And just, high level, one portion it says, I know there's going to be bumps on my journey, but I make a promise to myself that I will do what is under my control. Because so many women think because this happened, well, just because you can't work out, it doesn't mean you shouldn't eat healthy, right?
Right.
Just
There are
because
some things you can still manage and control and do.
exactly.
Right.
Just because you messed up your lunch because someone brought donuts to your office doesn't mean you should also mess up your dinner and say, I might as well forget the whole weekend and I'll just start again on Monday, right? No, we call that failing forward. What did you learn from that? Don't repeat the same mistake. What can you do better the next time and learn from it, right? And that's how you build self-confidence. That there's no such thing as failure, only lessons. We fail forward, we learn from it. We keep our promises to ourselves. And if it's not perfect, I'm not asking for perfection. 80% compliance is good enough. If you can't get your workout in, then maybe at least bare minimum, go for a 10-minute walk after every meal today. So there's ways to maneuver and be flexible. Instead of breaking those promises, learn how to compromise. And that's how you build self-confidence and self-esteem in your.
Absolutely. I have a story about that, Crystal. Actually, in the last 3 months, you know what? I have lost over 25 pounds.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I did it because one day I was like, this is enough. I mean, I was long time, well, about 20 years ago, I'm telling you, I was in perfect fit. I was a beauty queen and all these things. But then I started changing my habits, and all of a sudden, like a couple of pounds here, a couple of pounds there, and all of a sudden, my new normal was 20 pounds or 25 pounds over my original weight. And it became the normal. And I was like, this is not good. This is enough. Enough is enough, because it was affecting my health. It was affecting my ability to do activities with my kids.
Yes.
And I decided one day, this is enough. This is not me anymore. I'm going to go back to who I am, no? My 25 pounds less. So I decided, I made a decision, a contract with myself, and I did it. And I think it makes a big difference when you set goals that you can actually deliver. I mean, you can honor, as you say, because it's very important to be true to yourself and to be able to trust your practices, right? Trust on what you are decided. And yeah, I made a big change on the way I was eating. I work out, and now I decided to call it no weight loss. I call it weight release, because when you lose something, you wanna. Normally, you try to find it back, right?
Yes, absolutely.
I don't want to find this back at all. No. So I call it weight release. I release it for good.
Yes, I love that. And that's the terminology very much so that I'm encouraging women to shift that mindset, right? You're absolutely right. Because when you do lose something, you expect to find it again. And I just want to say congratulations. And I love that. Your podcast, Happiness by Habit, you're a testament to that. And you developed really good habits. And you just sharing, it's because you showed up, you kept your promises, and, small daily habits. Like, how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time?
It's funny, I use the same metaphor. Crystal, speaking about happy habits, let's talk about yours. What are good habits for healthy living?
So my personal go-to and what I teach inside my programs is your morning and evening ritual. You want to bookend your days with those habits that are non-negotiable, because what's in the messy middle, a lot of the times, is out of your control. So you want to start your day with your morning ritual so that, for me personally, I don't want to wake up saying, good God, it's morning. I want to say, good morning, God, right? And so
there you go. What a difference. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a big difference. And so in order to have that, good morning. Number one, I spend time in the Word, I read the Bible, I go through my devotional, and then I do my workout, right? So I fuel my spirit first, then I fuel my body, I get my workout in, I get my cardio in, then I fuel myself with healthy foods. I love my coffee, and I'm notorious for putting protein powder in my coffee, so I have my protein coffee, and I finish with, just gratitude and prayer. And so that's how I start my day. It really helps me put on the armor of God, protects me, right, from self-sabotage, protects me from excuses. And then I go through my day. And then when I end my day, I have a new skincare routine. And that's probably a whole other podcast that we could talk about one other day.
We can definitely do that.
Skincare routine for women over 40 that I love to share one day. And while I'm doing that, I might be listening to, an inspirational podcast. I might be listening to some praise and worship music. So I'm ending my day with just filling my mind with all that is true. I'm taking care of my skin. And then instead of, being exposed to a tablet or a phone, and I know a lot of women, they like their reading on their tablets. If you are going to have to do that, I would say invest in some blue light glasses, because you really want to try to get yourself in the best position for good sleep, especially us menopausal women. You really want to set yourself up for success. So what I personally do is I read a book, I get into the Word, making sure the conditions of my room, I like my room being really cold for all my menopausal women, nice cold room, either in your birthday suit or very thin clothing. I've got my blackout curtains so that there's no lights whatsoever. And I have my lavender oils. I just put a little bit on my temples, and I have my infuser going as well. And so that sets me up for a really good night's sleep. And if there's a lot on my head, I'll journal first, pour it out on the paper. I pray over it, give it to God, because a lot of women, when they're so stressed and overwhelmed, they can't get a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
And now, they're just wide awake or waking up because their mind is just going a mile a minute. So I say, pour it out on paper, give it to God. He'll deal with it. He's stronger than you are, so that you can get a good night's rest. And so those two bookends, your morning and evening routine, they should be non-negotiable, whether you're at home, whether you're on vacation, it doesn't matter, because it really sets you up for a peaceful, successful day where you're thinking with clarity, where you have energy, right? And so that's what I would say, for me personally, are habits that contribute to my happiness.
I love it. Absolutely. Those can make a big difference because they set you up for success, as you mentioned. And habits are really important because once you do something for over 21 days, they become part of your routine. So it's like, no, you don't even need to think about it. You just do it. Very good. About that, are there, like, I also, part of the way I was able to release my extra weight, I did that also. And food was a very key component of that change, because it's a lot of times, not only just for me, but for many people, it's very difficult to give up delicious things, that carbs, fat, and things like that. So one thing I did, and it helped me a lot, and I would love to hear your take on this, is that to have healthy food available, because I started my day, I have also my morning and evening routine that includes meditating, a little bit of a workout, but also coffee, and I take green juice.
Great.
So one thing I did to help myself with my weight release program was to have available in the refrigerator, like these green juices in like regular cups, just in cups, 1 dose per one. And I would just, anytime I'm hungry, I just get one of those, and it not only fills me, but also it's so good for you because it's full of nutrients. It gives me energy. It's so good at different levels. And so by making that available for me, that helped a lot, because a lot of times the problem comes when people are hungry and then they just eat what they have available, which a lot of times is not healthy.
Yes.
So what are some advices you would give for that purpose?
Yeah, I would say, and kudos to you. That's wonderful.
Thank you.
You're absolutely right. So along those lines, when you are first starting your journey, first and foremost, clean out your pantry and fridge of all things that will cause temptation. Now, if you have kids, put it somewhere where, you can't see it, right? Or, just so that it's not easily accessible. But better yet, why not get the whole family on board and find alternatives?
I know, that's the best. Yes.
Right. Find alternatives. Instead of cookies, try making, protein balls that you can add like chocolate chips to. Instead of ice cream, I know of many recipes, protein ice creams that you can easily make with banana and protein powder and milk, and you just put it in the fridge. So there's different healthy alternatives. So first and foremost, I would say purge your pantry. That's number one. Number two, as you said, what I teach in my program is we want to have protein with every meal. So ensure that in your fridge, there's at least 2 sources of protein. For example, maybe one week you're going to have chicken and fish. The next week, you're going to have shrimp and beef. So make sure that you have the protein, because protein is most satiating and it's going to keep you fuller longer. And so, having your proteins in your fridge, and when you meal prep it, what we do in our household is on a Sunday, we go to Costco, we get the big batch where we already marinate it. We marinate it on the Sunday, and we use an air fryer, right? So 20 minutes, you can even cut it in half. If it's a big, thick piece of chicken, as an example, cut it in half, stick it in there for 18 minutes, and, very, very quick and easy. So pre-marinate your protein. So that way, all you need to do is ideally stick in the air fryer. Vegetables. Have at least 5 different types of vegetables in your fridge. And what we really encourage our women is to eat at least 500 grams of weighed vegetables per day. So for example, 100 grams of broccoli, 100 grams of carrots, 100 grams of green beans, 100 grams of cauliflower, 100 grams of mushrooms, just throwing it out there. And why? We really want to ensure that our gut biome is healthy. And so, make sure that you have vegetables ready and prepare them. Wash them as soon as you get home. Chop them up as soon as you get home. You might have some that are raw, or go ahead on the Sunday, go ahead and roast them already, right? Roast your asparagus, roast your bell peppers, and then all you have to do is heat it up during the week. So, because if it's there, you're going to eat it. If you have to prep it, you're like, oh, I have to prep it. So just take away all of that, right? And then lastly, I would say a lot of women are not drinking enough water. So I recommend my ladies to start off with 96 ounces a day. And so that also really helps. A lot of the times when women have cravings, it's actually because they're thirsty. So I would say to you, have 2 glasses of water first and see if you still want that chocolate, or if you still want that, whatever it is, right? And so those are my 4 tips. Again, ensure that you have clean your pantry, purge your fridge, have 2 types of protein in your fridge, at least 5 different types of vegetables, and then make sure that you're drinking your water. Those would be the 4, kind of Kickstarter to help any woman who's really wanting to make a lifestyle change.
Talking about food, I would like to make a distinction because about 2 different feelings that we have regarding food. A lot of people have cravings for something that might not be healthy.
Yes.
But it's convenient, it's there, and it's good, it tastes good. So that will give us pleasure. That is the feeling that we have when we eat something that is good. But pleasure is very short term. You have pleasure in that second, that minute that you are enjoying the food. But then what happens after? A lot of times they will feel bloated, they will gain weight. Some of them might. They will feel tired and things like that. Versus happiness, which is the long-term, medium or long-term, which is when you eat something that is good for you. Why would you be happy? Because you will be healthy, you will look good, you will have energy. You might not be, and you can make it delicious too. It doesn't have to be bad to taste. So if you focus on happiness related to food versus pleasure, which is temporary, it's a much better picture. I mean, you can get much better results if you think about it like that.
Agreed. Yeah. Food it's an emotional regulator, and I am a recovering emotional eater. And I'm also an ex-carboholic. So,
Me too.
Understand. Absolutely. And, if your food makes you feel lethargic and you feel bloated and you feel low energy, versus if you eat something where you're like, that was delicious, but you still feel light and, it was still tasty. Just that feeling alone, really, really kind of reflecting on how did eating this thing make me feel? And, 3 tips to help women who are maybe tempted to eat or drink something that they shouldn't. I always ask them to think of these 3 questions. Number 1, if I eat this thing, is it going to make me feel guilty? If it's going to make you feel guilty, then think twice, maybe back away. Number 2, can I stop after 1 bite? Now, some of us are, if I have 1 bite, I'm good. That's all I need. I just want to taste. But if it's going to open Pandora's box and that 1 square of chocolate becomes the whole chocolate, don't even go there. And the last question you should ask yourself is this moving me towards my health goal or away from my health goal? And so simply asking those 3 questions can also help you, like you said, am I going to eat this thing because of pleasure or of happiness? And that will kind of make you think, make you pause. You're drinking your water as you're asking yourself those questions. And then, my goodness, like God gave us an array of nature's candy called fruit. And I love mangoes as an example, or whatever is seasonal, eat that, if it's something sweet as an example. Right. So there's a lot of alternatives out there. You just have to be creative. You just have to, what is it that I'm craving? Is it salt? Is it sugar? And that's one of the things that we do. I have a vegan health coach on my team, and she is literally the queen of making comfort food healthy. And one of the calls that we offer is she'll literally do a live cooking or baking session with our ladies. And she has made brownies healthy, ice cream healthy, bagels healthy, pizza healthy, you name it. She has found a way to make it healthy. And so there is a way to have your cake and eat it too. It's just a matter of expanding your repertoire, taking a look at different recipes. And some of them are really, really simple, right? So yes, I agree with you that looking at food as happiness rather than that quick fix, it makes a big difference.
I was one of the persons that in order to lose weight or to release weight in the past, I focused more on the workout part or the supplements, not so much on the diet part because it was more difficult. However, now, like my current weight is my new normal. I'm not planning at all to go back to the past.
Yes.
So one thing I did is, this is my new normal, so therefore I need to eat healthy as part of my life. It's not like I'm going to just eat healthy today and then when I reach my goal, I'm going to change. I already reached my goal and this is my new normal. One thing is, sometimes a lot of times maybe you get an opportunity or a craving or an opportunity to eat something that is not definitely diet, it's not healthy.
Yes.
But if you really want to go for that, maybe just eat a little bit and that's it. I think that's also another option for the ones who can handle just a 1 bite, because as you say, we also have the ones that will open a Pandora box and will try to eat it all.
Yes, for sure.
Fascinating. Yes. Okay, let's talk about React program, the new program that you have. Please tell us all about it.
Yeah, React, I had started implementing this program actually in my brick and mortar, and it was so successful that I carried on into my online program. So React is spelled a little differently. It's spelled R with the number 3, A-C-T. So when you look at it, it is React, but the R3 is there on purpose. So 3 stands for my 3 pillars of health. So we renew your mind with Now, there's 2 different types of programs that I offer, but I'll speak specifically to my Fit Beyond 40 coaching program. Okay. So the 3 pillars in that program is we renew your mind with mindset coaching, we refresh your body with functional fitness, and we restore your health with simple nutrition. Now, there's a slight difference in my Christian-based weight loss program where it is we renew your mind with getting into the Word, we refresh your body with functional fitness, simple nutrition, and we restore your heart with powerful prayer. But generally it's the same. In my one program, Fit Beyond 40 coaching program, there is a personal development program that comes with it. And so this is different because it's not just about weight loss. And so because so many women, they have either lost themselves because they've put on so much weight, they don't know who they are. They look in the mirror and they say, who is that? And perhaps they've neglected themselves because they've prioritized everybody else except themselves. And so that part of my program, that health pillar, is to help them figure out, well, what is your passion? Who is Silvana? Aside from being a mom, aside from being a wife, like what did she love to do before kids came into the picture? And it's really about finding your passions, finding your purpose, setting goals, right? And so that's the first pillar. And then the second pillar, functional fitness. Now, my women, we focus on at-home workouts because a lot of the women that I work with are very busy. And so we can save time instead of, spending 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes going to the gym, changing your clothes, doing your workout, fighting for machines, coming back home. I just said, you know what? Just have at least a set of dumbbells, a yoga mat, perhaps a kettlebell, just some pieces of equipment. And we take our women through a 3-phase fat loss and strength training program. And in fact, I have had women over 40. A passion project of mine is training women over 40 to compete in fitness competitions, and they only work out at home. So it is 100% possible to achieve that strong body, that toned body that you want at home. So that's what functional fitness is. And I want my women to feel not only confident in their skin, but to have energy to play with their kids, the no joint pain so they can pick up their grandkids, to feel beautiful in their skin so they can wear a bathing suit and they're not embarrassed, to, be intimate with your spouse, maybe even with the lights on, right? So there are, we really want our women to enjoy their life. And that's the sole purpose of functional fitness, is we want you to enjoy your life pain-free and feeling beautiful in your skin. And then simple nutrition, as we've been kind of talking about, there are basics, but every body is different. So there are women that come to me that are beginners, that are athletes, that are a whole array. So in my coaching program, as well as my health coach, we will give personalized programs depending on what your needs are, right? Because someone who's over 200 pounds and needs to lose 60 pounds, and someone who wants to compete in a fitness competition, they need two different things, right?
Absolutely.
So that's where the personalization comes in. And we make sure that it's really simple to follow, because if it's not simple, you're not going to follow it.
Right. Absolutely.
And then,
Do I know it? Yes.
yeah. And then the very last pillar, so we renew your body, we renew your mind, we refresh your body, and we restore your health. Now, just one additional health pillar that is in my Fit for the Kingdom program is that we add daily devotionals, we add Bible studies, and we add really a Bible plan and getting into the Word. And that's the biggest difference between both of those programs. So it's a really holistic look.
I love it. That's a really good comprehensive program that they can do. I will make sure to put the website here also, but can you mention how they can find you, the listeners?
I have a free Facebook group. It's called Fit Beyond 40 for Women. And that would be a great place for women just to get to know myself and my team, because my coaches, they offer 4-minute fat burning workouts. So the busy woman, you have 4 minutes. You have 4 minutes.
Of course, yes.
4-minute workouts in there. I've got another coach that teaches a 10-minute burning at the bar. So it's a Pilates and ballet inspired workout, 10 minutes. That's all it is. There are tons and tons of delicious, healthy recipes in there. I go live in there. So it's a free Facebook group. So Fit Beyond 40 for Women Facebook group is one place. And then my website, fitbeyond40.com as well. And then if it's okay, Silvana, I have a gift for your audience. It's a free training called The 3 Secrets to Permanent Weight Loss After 40. I'll send you that link. And if you wanted to give that to your audience, it's absolutely free. And it's a really great tool to implement everything that we talked about today.
Love that. Absolutely. That will be amazing. Thank you so much, Crystal, for all your help and your wise advice. I really enjoy it. And I think we can do a part 2 and a part 3 because we have so much to talk about. It
Well,
was an absolutely pleasure, Crystal. Thank you so much.
thank you, Silvana. And you are an inspiration yourself.
Thank you.
Like I said, you are a testament of happiness by habit. You're a walking testament, and just such a beautiful person to really inspire women to as well to develop habits that are, bloom a happy and fruitful life. So congratulations to you too.
Oh, thank you. Stop it now. No, just kidding. Thank you, Crystal. And so are you. I really felt very inspired today. And thank you again. And to our amazing listeners, if you are ready to step into the weight release roller coaster and start living your best life, head over to Crystal's website or book a discovery call with her team. I don't think you will regret it. Thank you for tuning in. And to Happiness by Habit, don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and share this episode with someone who might need a little encouragement today. Take care. Bye-bye.